All
Um,
right, hold up. Are you ready?
yeah, I am. My camera will turn around in a little bit.
All right, we're bouncing our boobies. All right, chat. Everybody, bounce your boobs. Hello and welcome back. This is going to be another episode of Under the Table. This is a post-game talk show where we break down the last session, the last chapter, the last whole campaign of whatever TTRPG tabletop role-playing game we have going on at the time. That being, as of this recording, The Strange Town of Golden Ridge. DM'd and hosted by Mr. Pickles, played in by myself as Kingsman and Fred as Detective Verde. We are just wrapped up Chapter 3, Episode 2 as of yesterday. As we're recording this, we didn't do an under the table for Episode 1. We got held up with the Drinks and Discussions miniseries. And for today's episode, Fred was unable to join us, so it's just going to be the two of us. And we were debating if we even wanted to do this episode or not, but then we were sitting there and just kind of talking, and we ended up doing it like mostly anyway. And I was like, well, let's just go live and do this. So here we
yeah.
are. So if you wouldn't mind, just real quick, brief overview of what the concept is of Strange Town Golden Ridge.
Strange Town of Golden Ridge is basically a modern horror investigation game using the Savage World system, set in our modern day, like Pacific Northwest area. It's a fictional town that I've made up, so it doesn't exist, but is the center of some Pacific Northwest themed spookiness of monsters in tunnels and um, lots of trees. Lots of trees. Not always a good thing, those trees. The group has seen weird things that they have described as aliens, gray, lengthy things that can mess with technology. They've seen an instance of the Squirrel Lord or his influence, where squirrels were acting really, really weird, and also more of those alien things. Are the aliens the Squirrel Lord then? We
I don't
don't
know.
know.
There was some kind of woodland alien hybrid that was wandering the forests outside of town. That was terrifying, but it was great knowledge for us because like we only knew about the ones in town, and then we learned that there's. Anyway, so that's the basically when I've described it to people, I'd say it's like a uh Pacific
It's like, what
North.
the fuck?
No, I'd say it's a Pacific Northwest version for people who aren't in America. It would be if you guys have heard the concept of Bigfoot. Bigfoot is based in like the Northwest America slash Canada region of the woods where a mythical creature roams the woods. So think of that mixed with the SCP universe. The SCP being, I don't even know how I would describe the SCP universe. Go look it up if you don't know. Basically, strange beings exist in this universe and they're terrifying. That's how I would describe it. It's a Bigfoot setting meets SCP. And we're just living in their world.
I bring a lot of nonsense to the table, and I try and use things that I don't think will bring familiarity because I do want there to be some sort of like scary factor. I'm a big fan of horror movies. If that's not like clear from our Phasmophobia playthroughs,
I was gonna
like
say,
I
if you haven't noticed, we've been playing Phasmophobia, Labyrinthine.
yes,
Did
a
we play
Sign of
anything else?
Silence. I got that one.
Yeah,
That's in the queue.
we picked up Silent Silences in the queue. Outlast Trials is in our queue.
I'd love to. I do want to play that one.
Yeah,
That'd be
we got
fun.
some in there. So yeah, definitely an influence from that. But okay, so let's get into it. So in this chapter, we've had two episodes. Um, God, what were we talking about before this? That we were just like, you know what, we should get into it.
we were leading. I was gonna say we were leading into the third chapter, which I was going to explain what you guys kind of figured out so far.
Good.
Because I did the first two chapters. This is out of seven total. So there is an end in sight. Making a complete story. Anyways, the third chapter is about investigating a case of a peculiar alcohol, illegal alcohol, because there's theories that there are not permits for this alcohol. Um, and so that's the premise, is that these guys have found there is alcohol being served. They don't think it's trustworthy because they think something paranormal is happening with it. And so the first session was grappling with that knowledge. The second session, yeah, the first session, I meant to say if I didn't. The second session is going after some leads that they found in that first session.
Hmm.
Um, Notably, the distributor, not the bartenders, none of the
Roger.
owners of bars.
Yeah, Roger Potts, the current distributor, trying to find his supplier. Um,
It's like the
I
sales guy.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
Detective Verde was going through Roger Potts trying to get the information. I went through Roger Potts's home trying to get the information. We both basically came up with an address, went to that address, found the other thing that's going on in this world, which is the mimes, which I would love to give you information on that, but we're still investigating it. Basically, there's a faction of mimes that are in a paranormal battle of their own out there with demons and spirits and things, and we're still learning that one.
You learned a lot about them though this last episode, I mean.
Okay, so I know that they call me the king, not Kingsman, the king. And I was like, "You got my name wrong." And they're like, "No, you're actually like referred to as the king." And Verde kind of backed that up. Verde's gotten some more information than me. And then they referred to Verde as like the knight or something. He is like the protector. That's about all I know. And there's a girl in a purple coat with demons who follow her. We don't know much about that either. Yet.
Well, that's not what I really meant, but
Oh.
to address that, because that is a pertinent thing. In the second adventure, the mime who met you guys, she did call you the king,
Mhm.
and that you are one of kings, like you are one of many. There have been kings before you, but you are the king.
Okay.
So you have been referred to that by these mimes in the past. It's cryptic as fuck, but I mean, it
Mhm.
is still like, uh,
Chat has a pressing question.
okay,
They
yes,
want they want to know what is
don't
the
press
deal
it.
with Pickle's shirt?
Shirt?
They're like,
Oh,
what
I would
is?
love to talk about my shirt.
Please, I just saw that comment and I looked over your shirt and just broke. I have no idea, Chad.
Yeah. Who the fuck is this guy? Okay, one of my most recent like favorite shows that I forced Wrath to actually watch. I had a gun. I think I made you watch 2 or 3 episodes. Definitely 3 episodes at least. Joe Pera talks with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you were like, "Do you find this funny?" I'm like, "No,
I was
I
like,
don't. I
what the
love it.
fuck is?
It's such a weird show. It's on Adult Swim, or at least that's where it was broadcasted. I don't know where you can find it now. But it's awesome. If you like things like Nathan For You or How To with John Wilson, Joe Pera talks with you. It's a touching but very strange and surreal show. It's like episodes are 15 minutes. Like
This is why you should go listen to And I Took That Personally, because they watch these kind of things. What was that one we watched where the guy was going through the scary house and absolutely I hated it.
oh, that was recent. That's the garbage I love. Oh, it's like a Deadstream. Deadstream. I'm pretty sure it's 2021
Don't
or
go watch that
2022,
either.
something like that. Yeah. If you like found footage that's like a little bit like this shit sucks,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
don't go watch it.
Funny and weird and low budget. That's not really my campaign. That's just talking about influences, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how we got on this topic. Anyway,
The deep
oh, we were
web.
talking about your shirt.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, so
Joe
that's
Pera led to found footage horror comedies.
yeah, yeah, just shows that Pickles watches that I'm sitting here going, why? But this is why he has a podcast, because he does these things. And he's good at it. And I'm not.
And I don't
But
know why.
so yeah, so with Strange Shot and Golden Ridge, back on topic.
Yes.
Yeah, we were before we got into
You
this.
guys split up.
Yeah, we did. We did
And
split up.
that was the thing. I was like, so I don't like I during the break I was talking to Fred and it's like, yeah, you guys split up, and I was just kind of trying to ask questions that are probing as a GM to see where your player is at,
Mm.
but also where you can't really play your hand. So you don't really want to over probe and be like,
You're trying to get a feel, but you don't want to like give stuff away. You're like, hey, I need you to go here.
yeah, it's like a cute nudge and like, so why aren't you doing this thing? And it's like, and every player should know that's your GM being like, did did you not like my NPC? Did I do
What did you
something wrong?
learn from that? Doggo's being cute. Yeah, Doggo being crazy back there. I was watching her too. Um, what did you learn from that conversation? Because I wasn't there for that.
um,
Anything you can give away?
Mostly the fact that a lot of my intro adventures, like, there's just a lot of clues that don't really lead anywhere yet. And I feel like that's an issue I can say that you've probably seen in the past is there's a lot of okay, dead end, okay, weird dead end. Okay, that's a weird touch, but dead end.
I only say that happened in the second chapter. Because in the second chapter, we like got to the altar with the squirrel bar, and I was like, okay, now what? Or we got to the crash site, and there's just a bottle, and I was like, now what?
A bottle and face paint.
Right. Or like the lake with the rune, and I got it, and I was like, now what? So in the second chapter, yeah, in the first chapter, I felt like I was pretty on par with the storyline, moving along.
Yeah.
Second chapter was a lot of, okay, I got here, I don't know where to go from here, so I guess I'll backtrack. Okay, I'm over here. I don't know where to go from here. In this one, I mean, I've kind of kept them separate in my mind, so I'm not like, okay, we're still on that. In this one, it was okay. I've got an address. Okay, I got to that address. I found okay. There's not much here, but he did have an address written on his fridge. I'm gonna follow that clue. And now I got there, and it took me to the mime lady in the treehouse, and it's like, oh, okay. So I guess I haven't really hit a dead end with it yet. It'll be interesting to see what comes in the next episode because now we've talked to the mime, and it's like, I think basically it came down to I'm here to help, and help what? Where do I go from
Here
here?
to guide.
Oh, perfect. Guide me. Where do I go from here? Because I don't know. The address took me here. Is there another address? I don't.
Oh yeah, actually that brings us back to what we were talking about. I said you learned something really interesting about mimes. Because in the last season, I like to call it now because of you, the second adventure, you guys found out that the mimes don't really know where they're going. They just respond to something happening, like a ping on a radar, and they get as equipped as they can. They go. Locals aren't very helpful, which I think you guys found out because one of them was killed on your vacation. You found the body of a hanging mime.
Yeah.
The locals are not very helpful, so they can't really gather information from people, especially equipped and ready for combat as they were. Um, and they don't know what they're going to until they get there. You heard something in this recent session that Jesse, I originally had their last name be Hatcher, but you said Thatcher, and so that's what I'm going to go with.
Oh.
Because that was a lost episode.
I definitely called
And
it
I didn't want
Thatcher.
to.
It was a lost episode. Yeah, you guys don't know.
I mean, yeah, you said it first, so you're right.
It's Thatcher now.
Yeah, she is not a mime, but she has heard this call, these voices drawing her out. A need to go somewhere and investigate felt very strongly.
Didn't the mime person say she's a new recruit?
Yeah, and she also added that.
Yeah. Yeah, so
So
we
you
know
might
something
get,
about them getting pings to go places, but like, yeah, and like that was one thing. Like, I got to the burned hole in the forest, and it was like that was one of those where it's like, that end? I don't know what to do from here. But I'm glad that she mentioned the Chosen Flame. So somehow Jesse Thatcher knows about the Chosen Flame. I don't know how, but I forgot that I knew about the Chosen Flame. So it was good that you reminded me because I was like, oh yeah, of course. Because I was like, oh yeah, there's factions like the librarians and stuff, but I don't know which of them would be involved with like fire and flames. And she's like, you ever heard of the Chosen of Flame? And I was like, oh yeah, that would make sense. I felt a little dumb and dumb.
Well, and that's the only group she knows about, to be honest. She has the camera. I'm a big fan of. I think, as we've already touched on, found footage movies. I always love a person with a camera investigating things.
I noticed when I gave her a gun, I was like, the camera's not going to do anything. And you're like, I don't care. I was like, all right.
And she also is not good at handling guns, but you're pushing her in that direction, and that I think should have
Well, if you noticed
benefit.
after I saw how she reacted, I had her just like, okay, you can man the lights in the car. Or like I had her go out with me and flip on her light on her camera at the same time I did so that it looked
Yeah,
like I was trying to
and
use it to our advantage.
I want to note there. I just had that go off because your character is charismatic. And it's something I would do if you had leadership edges, but it would show up a little differently. Charismatic, I think, is just generally when people are aligned with you, they go along. You don't need to be rolling persuasion checks
Mm,
unless people are like not aligned with you. In which case, that's when your charismatic edge like benefits would show up as you can re-roll because you
yep.
are charismatic. But people generally aligned is just yeah, I can do that. Yeah, heck yeah. Like charismatic to me, you make them feel good about doing the task for you, no matter what you like tell me to an extent.
Okay. I like it.
Um,
I think that
but
works with with Jesse with Kingsman.
yeah,
But as far as this adventure goes, yeah, I'd say there's three parts to this adventure specifically. To the campaign in whole, there's a bunch. So to this one, there's the mimes, stuff going on with them, the hole of fire in the woods, and the drinks, the red juice that's out of this world. And so those are the three big things that have happened this adventure that we're like, okay, we got to figure out what's going on. The campaign as a whole, you still have the girl with the purple coat, you have the crash site out in the woods, you have the squirrel things, you
the
have
rune
the
in the lake.
aliens, yeah, the runes, yep, and the mime dagger where that goes in with the mimes, but the alien things and the tunnels and what's not. Fourth thing for this session actually for this adventure, the Melvin Bleakers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's
Continuity error. I mentioned that in the drinks and discussions.
yeah, continuity errors. It's an
That was
accident.
intentional.
Oh, I figured it was.
No, that was not
I
accidental.
I knew it would be
That
not.
was I
You're like, oh shit, did I already use his name? Crap, I didn't scratch it off.
no, because I know that I gave a different name to him before, and I wanted to show something specifically.
To the YouTuber?
Yes.
Fuck, I didn't remember
I
his
gave
name.
I gave him a douchey name in the lost episode.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh well, I don't remember, so it's fine.
Well, and so yeah, maybe that was lost on you there, but you did pick up that that is the name of somebody else. That there's somebody who should not be alive, but is alive again.
As a YouTuber.
Yeah, as a younger YouTuber, because the guy was older. He's a professor,
Yeah,
Professor
at
Melvin
the
Bleeker,
university. But yeah,
community
that's a
college.
weird mystery as well. So I'd see there's four things: the mimes, the whole fire in the woods, the red drinks, the big boy special.
Yes.
Okay, and then the Melvin Bleakers of the world.
So when I said big boy special, that stood out to you, at
That's a
least enough
weird
to remember it. And
fucking
I remember you
name.
guys talking about that when I came back from a break.
Yeah, during intermission, so those of you on watching the video wouldn't have seen this, but during an intermission, right now we're talking. We were wondering about this drink because it's not really tied to anything we're connected with. My guy is specifically very interested in the alien things that attacked like Jesse Thatcher again in a lost chapter. You guys didn't get to see that, but basically the alien things came about. They attacked this family. We went and investigated. That's how this all started. So I'm really interested in these alien things. I want to know like what's going on with them and protect the people, the Jesse Thatchers of the world. Um, so that's kind of where my investigation is more centered towards. So then when I'm sitting at a bar with my contact and cop comes in and is like, "Yeah, I'm investigating this drink called the Big Boy Special," and then my contact's like, "Yeah, it's great. It's so good. We should try it." And the cop's telling me it's out of this world. It gives you like magic visions and shit. I was like, okay, that's paranormal, but it's not really tied to my investigation. But okay, like, I've got no leads right now. I asked Pickles, has there been any activity over the like 3 months or whatever that has spanned in between chapter 2 and chapter 3? Not really. Okay, so I kind of at dead end. I'll help out investigate this red thing because it's the first like paranormal thing that's shown up. Maybe it's connected. So then that's why I was talking to Fred in the interim and was like, there's not really any connection, but I think we're both just kind of investigating it because it's something to do. We both kind of had 3 months of not much going on that we're kind of jumping at, this could be something. Let's give it a shot. And it took us to a mime, so. But we still don't even know what the fucking mimes mean. Are they connected to the aliens? They didn't really seem like it. So I don't know.
Can I ask you a question?
Mystery campaigns.
Why do you think that dumbass Roger Potts was going to sacrifice you to mimes? He
Not
you got
me.
the vibe, right?
Roger Potts or Detective Verde he was trying to sacrifice.
Uh
He didn't even know I was going to be there.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, that was Detective Verde. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's more of a question for him, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I
what do
don't
you
know.
think of that?
I think
Like,
I tried to ask something like that, like why are you trying to murder the cop? Like, and trying to remember if we got any information. He just thought the mimes like eat people, and
yeah,
so
they
like
eat people.
he couldn't read the subtitles. He couldn't understand the mimes, so he just knew a
Yeah.
mime lived up there and was like, "Hey, go." Um, why he was trying to? Because from that point, Detective Verde hadn't said that he was a cop. It was just being friendly with the guy. So why he was like, "We're gonna go here so you can get eaten by a mime." Still a mystery. I don't know. I think Roger Potts, there's more going on to him as well. There's also the two brothers that say are his suppliers. We haven't met them yet either.
Can I ask, so do you think that one of the mimes that you've seen so far, any of the mimes that I've given you, do you think that they would eat a person? Like monster style eat a person, like shop, shop.
I haven't gotten that vibe.
Okay. Have you gotten that vibe from other supernatural characters though?
The
Perhaps
aliens,
the
potentially.
yeah.
I don't know. There was the body of Melvin Bleeker, the original Melvin Bleeker, down in the tunnels in the Lost chapter. I'm so sorry you guys didn't get to see that, but there's the original body of Melvin Bleeker down in the tunnels, and he wasn't. Well, God, was he eaten? Was there parts of him missing or something? I can't remember.
He actually was not eaten. He was desiccated and clutching his book that you took from him.
Yeah.
Um, that chronicled his journey into death, mostly.
There were bodies going missing. I remember that. There was
There
bodies
were
going
bodies
missing.
from the graveyard.
Yep.
You investigated that, but that was a dead end.
Yep. Never found anything from that either.
People are going missing though, not graveyard people now. It's like
Yes.
outskirts people.
Yeah, people are going missing, including the shithead rich kid.
Yeah, the main fumble I did was that I meant to mention that in the bar, and it just I didn't have time or it never came up or something. And afterwards, I was like, "You son of a d."
Mention what?
The disappearance of the rich kid.
When did he find out about it?
He found out about it last session, and I meant to mention it first session.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Adventure 3.
Yeah.
At the bar, but you guys found out, and it's one of those things where it's like, it's not the end of the world. Come on.
It's one of those, okay, they didn't learn this clue now. I'll tie the clue in later.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the nice thing about having floating clues is it you just bring them up when you feel it makes the most sense.
Hmm.
Um, and I try to do that at least,
Trying to
but
remember, how did he get that? How did he get that tip off about the missing kid?
that's
Because
I
I
think
wasn't personally there. I was not. I was there, but like my character wasn't there.
oh, that's right. The superior detective gave him the case file because he didn't want to do it.
That's right. Superior case file. Yeah. That's right. Because I was breaking into a house, I think, at that point or something.
Yeah, and uh, I
I appreciate not getting totally fucked for breaking in that house. I was a little worried.
well, I mean,
I was
yeah,
a little
nothing's
scared.
happened.
So I was like, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah, you got a good role. I mean, surely nobody's just peeping around over there, but it's also a one-story home, so you can probably guess that. Yeah, it was a calculated risk.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to screw you over.
Mimes, yeah, so chat's going off about the mimes. They wouldn't eat
Yeah,
you,
what do the mines?
they'll swallow your
What do they mean?
soul, they interact with the ethereal objects, they can't be constrained by 3D restraints, doors, bars, rope, manacles, unless it's ethereal in nature. That's true. You can't. I don't know anything about mimes, but if that's like, instead of just being super cringy people, they're actually like
Yeah,
magicians, and they're just like you're in a cell, like, and the door just opens. You're like, oh shit, they're magical. Like
the only
that
thing
could be
that makes
dangerous.
them mimes, though, is that they have the face paint like black and white that makes up a general face paint effect, and they don't speak. Other than that, they haven't done any like mimery of.
The only
Well,
thing,
okay, so
there was the video of them dancing in the park in slow mo.
okay, yes, there is the dancing, um, but nobody's really asked around about that.
Yeah, I think we initially, this was during chapter one. I think we initially were like, is that something? And then like, yeah, I think we did ask someone. They're like, yeah, it's happened occasionally, not all the time, but occasionally it does. Sometimes it's just one person, sometimes it's multiple people. It's usually like midnight or something. I do remember getting some information about that. I think I might have done research, and like it was during the times when I was constantly just like, okay, I'm gonna pull it up my phone and do a bunch of research.
Yeah, um, and I guess that's where the campaign is at. You guys have a lot of leads,
Yeah, we
but
just
you
don't
don't
know where
have
to
specific
go
people.
from there. So we know the mimes, the aliens, the different factions, like the librarians, the chosen of flame, stuff like that. Police are corrupt. We've got the purple coat girl, and then little things like the missing bodies, the the squirrels, the drink, the red drink, the big boy special. So I mean, there's a lot, but how are they connected, and like where do we go to figure out little things about each one? I don't know. She's taking Kira on a walk.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to wave to her, but she's not even looking.
Nah, she wasn't looking. If anyone's curious, that's my friend. She's moving down to town and she's house hunting. I was talking a little bit about that in the break, but
Yeah, that was just between us, so I get it, but they don't, and yeah,
probably like
so
Wrath
okay,
has people, lives in like the real world. Yeah. You
yeah, that's what I
guys would
asked. I
actually be
was like,
surprised. During a
so
lot of my streams, I have friends over. They're just in other rooms, and I run an open house, so my friends just kind of pop in and out. Kind of cool, actually.
it's cool.
Yeah.
That's like a definitive mark of being cool.
Well, it's really nice actually, because as soon as we're off of here, I'm going out there and I can smell that she's cooked. She just is cooking, so now there's food out there, and I'm really excited. Yeah, I get to go have food, and I'm like, oh, sweet. And like they're taking care for a walk, or like I've had it where I've gone out and like one of my friends is just out there watching TV, and I'm like, oh shit, what are you watching? Like, sweet. Sit down, watch TV with them and stuff. Like, it's nice. I built a very neat little space for this. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Chat.
But I love
Let's
it
get
though.
back on topic.
I love things that make me feel cozy and happy.
What are you doing?
The joke where I talk to you.
Oh, I
Um,
was like, what are you doing over there?
well, also I like when my belly feels full of pizza, so it's like a double. But I don't have pizza in my belly right now.
I don't
It'll be
either.
fine.
Yeah, I've
Um,
got Cheez-Its and some shitty beer that my friend bought. Ginger beer. It came in Jack. It's a Moscow Mule flavor.
ginger moss. Okay, I actually thought you were drinking a Bud Light because I saw the blue and I was like, yeah,
No,
because I don't read.
I guess she went to order like delivery or something, and it was late, and so she couldn't get the normal stuff, and so she got like this knockoff somewhere or another.
That's a yeehaw from me, I guess.
I don't know. It was in the fridge, so I grabbed one.
That that sounds fun. That reminds me of your original party house in our hometown area, but not toxic.
Yeah, I've corrected things since then and like balanced out the vibe. That would be an interesting talk to have someday. It's not really an under the table talk or a It's just like we're at the half hour mark. We could just wrap up under the table and then just shoot the shit with chat.
I mean, unless you had other things you wanted to say, I feel like I covered everything. Like what's
Yeah,
going
we don't
on, how I
like
feel.
if you think about it, we had an hour for two people to talk about all this, but only one of those people
Yeah,
is here, so a half hour is the
I
content you
guess
got. If we had Fred
I
here, we
just
could
have
get
one
another
more.
half hour of content. Go ahead.
I just have one more
Absolutely.
question.
No, chat, you get more under the table. Keep it going. Let's go.
Yeah, one more question, and then I think I'm actually good on this. I I want you guys to be able to just throw out a direction and be able to travel. Um, and I was hoping to facilitate that in game by being like, well, do you know street drug dealers, even though you don't have streetwise? Roll, get kind of a fail, and say, yeah, you don't think they'll tell you the truth. But it's like, but you can still go and talk with them. It doesn't matter if you have names. Like I want like the vibe to be out there that you could just be like, I go to a business and I want to talk to people who know shit about this stuff. I want to go talk to the people who do this. Like in the first adventure that you cannot watch, um, they went off to a community college and had a flirtatious encounter of just we want to research this situation. Mr. Pickles, he's been saying some French words at us,
I'd
and
say there was
that
three moments of that. One of them might have been planned, but there was the university we went to,
did not
and
plan that.
we just did research and learned some stuff and met the student. God, Bradley Cooper.
Uh,
No, what's his name?
it was a lady, and she was
No,
for
the student.
Sheila Forgetta.
No, the student, the guy.
Oh, Aaron Kelly,
Yeah, Aaron Kelly that I brought onto my team. I met him down at Melvin
the
Bleeker's office.
parapsychology. Yeah.
There was the casino I went into to make some extra money, and I still have a bunch of stolen casino chips on me.
Hell yeah.
And the last one was I think it was a pizza shop.
You did not like that one though. That was a calculated risk on my part. I came off too extreme, and you were like, did not like that guy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I didn't like that guy, but there was I mean, he stood out. It's a pizza shop. He encountered the aliens. Like that is a place that I would go back to. I can't remember the name of it, but it was basically like a classic pizza, like Joe Tortelloni's
Yeah.
or something. Like it was very classic pizza shop
Yeah.
name. Um, but like that's a place I would go back to because I've made contact with that person. So you better go back in your notes and find him because that's someone that I would be like, if we come up with the alien stuff again, and I'm like, I need more information. I know someone who's encountered these things. Let me go talk to him again, see if I can get any more information.
Well, first off, you never came back after the first adventure to like reap your rewards.
Okay, first
Like he
off, you
brought
sent me into the woods without my consent, so
you did have a week there though that you could have gone back and talked to him.
that wasn't my first choice. Was to go hang out with that guy.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But I mean, things I wanted to note about him, he was an abrasive, loud asshole.
Mhm.
So fair that you might be like, I don't really like this guy, but he was spirited and pissed off about his business being broken into. He thought he found the guy to do it. He did. He was correct. You solved the problem. You kicked the ass that took his beer.
Mhm.
out of the back room. But he also had like a dedicated like room to bring people into, with like a projector screen and everything, like a table. He brought in pizza. His son was there setting up the projector screen because he didn't know how to use computers very well. Um, and so that was one of those things where it's like, that's if you don't have an office, you have a pizza guy with a room.
Mm, that's
And
good to
he's
know.
spirit
Yeah.
enough to be like, fuck everything, you helped me out.
Yeah. See, I would, as a GM, I would tie that in later because I feel like that's something I could come back to.
You can always go back there.
No, I'm
And
saying
that's
like as Travis or as Kingsman, that's something I could see myself being like, I'm gonna go back there. So I'm just letting you know as the GM, hey, just know there's a point where I could be like, yeah, I want to go back there.
I theory should have. Oh, we switched over to Foundry. Yeah. Well, I still have the pictures saved and everything. I have all the character information in Evernote, which I'm just plugging Evernote. Love it. It's awesome.
I don't use
It's
it.
free. You can pay for other features, but if you just want to use it for D&D stuff, free.
There you go.
Anyways,
We're not sponsored,
I'm not they yeah, they won't sponsor me. Um but yeah,
but yeah,
curious why individuals aren't as going out as much talking to people and
I think you got a little bit of that. I it's kind of a mix because you gave that to Fred, Detective Verde, when you were like you could just go to different bars to try and get some information on this drink, and he did. And I think that was kind of a cop out because he was like, I don't want to do anything. You're like, well, you got to do something. Like, so it's a little bit, but from my point of view from the outside, I was like, okay, what I got from that is, hey, we could just go to places and continue the investigation, i.e., I don't know. This is my investigations just going to houses, which I can't just go into random houses. But if it was like mime hotspots, okay, let's pull up the Google. Where have mimes been going? And like now that I know that mimes are pinging places and going to places specifically, maybe I should go look at that park they've been seen continually dancing in. Mimes are getting pinged to go there a lot. I wonder why. Like that's something that could get tied back in.
I I really hope that a lot of these things are like forming a deck of cards where you can be like, okay, what kind of bullshit can we just draw and say, okay, yeah, the park bullshit. Let's say let's investigate this in the context of this adventure. Because as I said, this is the third adventure out of 7.
Mm-hmm. I
I
would
have a
even say
bigger vision.
if you guys missed it, Pickles used to stream. And what he used to stream is point and click adventure games. And this reminds me of his point and click adventure games. I don't click vase, click door. That item doesn't go there. Yeah, I know, but I've tried everything else. Click baseball card, click lamp. You insert the baseball card. That worked? Okay.
The lamp just flies away because it becomes a rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, all right.
I'm I'm not like Lucas Arts level of bad, but
There's moments where I'm just like we picked up a bottle with a smiley face. Use that on squirrel. I don't know.
but no, my goal for that
That
was
was we used that on mime. That's what it was. Use bottle on mime. Oh, it worked. Oh shit. All right.
because you knew that it was involved with the mimes. That was the attack site where allegedly there was an entire like semi truck or whatever, or like an appropriate vehicle for transporting people. A
It was an
lot of
APC.
people. Yeah, an APC.
Mm-hmm.
An APC was traveling and was melted and destroyed. The homeless guy who traveled and like gave you stories and you guys let him drink at your fireplace. You
Yeah,
were
and then he
very nice
watched me
to him.
die and just walked away.
Yeah, he told you a lot of things about those mimes because he knew them. Um, and so they didn't eat him, obviously. Because otherwise he wouldn't have been talking to you. But yeah,
Yet.
so one thing That site was where a lot of soldiers going to oppose the girl in the purple coat was melted and like destroyed in a beam of destruction. You guys saw no like legitimate like metal stuff from the vehicle because it was, but you did see like melting on the pavement. Couple that with your knowledge now in Adventure 3, you've seen a site where somebody made a perfectly circular beam that melted through trees. It didn't burn them as much that you would need to require for like melting a semi or an APC or a kick-ass truck. But this is the second burning symbol you've seen.
Yeah, but we don't know what burned the first one. I figured it was purple coat girl, but
Because
there's
that's
no
what
proof to that. I just
they had only just told you. You've got anecdotal evidence.
yeah, they said they were going after that person, and that person attacked their vehicle. So maybe same person. I don't know. I don't have proof. That's just I have two pieces of a puzzle, and I'm like, maybe these go together.
Like, no, you need the third piece,
Yeah,
and it's coming later.
It's a 3,000 piece puzzle.
Yeah, I did like that you tried to go through the burn marks in the tree. I thought that was very
I'm
clever
curious,
of
man.
you. Even if it wasn't like what. Well, I was glad you used your curious there. Um, before I get on that,
I knew it was very dangerous, so I was like, I probably shouldn't do this, like, from a game point perspective. But I was like, my character's curious. There's a thing here. I gotta go check it out. I gotta learn stuff, and if I don't, it's just gonna be another dead end. And then I walked through it, and it was still a dead end, and I was like, damn it.
it's a dead end clue, but it's correlated with something you've already seen before. Things being burned, scorched,
Right, but
eradicated.
why that spot?
Yeah, why that spot is
And
not really
why
there.
was it pinging Thatcher?
But you found out that it wasn't actually that direction. The mime later said
Could
no,
have
it's
been.
further past there,
Yeah.
and that what's her name, Jesse Thatcher, just didn't really know the direction.
Right. Right.
Um, so you've got some. I mean, yeah, there wasn't anything to go into, but I thought it was really fun that you went there and was like, what if it's a portal to another area? And I was like,
You're like, maybe it should have
no,
been. Oh, no, it's
um,
not.
it's not part of the story I'm trying to tell here, but that was very clever on your part.
That's why
And
when
so I really like that.
it really threw me when I walked through and you're like, okay, we're gonna go over to Verde, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like I went into a thing. We'll get back to that. But then he was like, I want to text him, and you're like, we'll have to get back to that. And I was like, yo, I'm in another realm. Like I'm not getting texts. Like that's what was going through my mind.
Yeah, that's where I was debating. Like, oh, I want to, but that might be pushing the envelope too much for what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And so to go back to the curious,
Plus, it would really suck
something.
if I went into another realm and I was there without Verde, and I'm like, ah, I'm fucked. Like,
Yeah,
not that I think
yeah,
Verde would ever try and save my life, like I did for him. Shout out to the Lost Chapter.
lost chapter.
But even just being there by myself, I'd be like, ah, god damn it.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, and that's the thing is I didn't really have something on hand that would be easy enough to leave conveniently by yourself.
Yeah,
So I didn't want to do that to you.
I appreciate.
And yeah, as I said, it didn't really fit. But I wanted to jump back to the curious. Something I've been thinking about doing is offering challenges where you either do something like this that's bad, or you give me one of your bennies. For example, yeah, you may want to drive past, but you are curious. Do you want to keep driving, or do you want to give me a Benny? Or in the case of the peculiar alcohol, something I considered was, do you want to drink the alcohol because you're curious, or do
I
you want to
didn't
give me
drink
a
it.
Benny?
Yeah,
And
that's right.
and I don't know if that's mean spirited at all. Does that feel mean to you?
What's the bonus of playing? Like, do you get a Benny if you play into your?
No, you just do the thing without sacrificing a Benny. You indulge your hindrance, if you will.
Nah, man,
And
it
like in a
kind
sense,
of.
you spend a Benny to not have a
Yeah,
hindrance
I
for a
would
moment.
say yeah, that would make sense because you're supposed to have that hindrance, and if your character just never plays into it, then it's like, you really have that hindrance? So I would say, yeah, you should definitely penalize. Like, hey, no, you're getting a, um, excuse me, you're getting a Benny taken if you don't play into your hindrance. That's just like this is a terrible example, but say your character is an addict and provide, hey, there's a bunch of alcohol here, and they're just like, okay, and they just move on. You'd be like, ah, Benny, like it would make sense because that's your character's like goal to maybe even use that as a hook for a quest. Like, hey, I have a hook. I'll put some alcohol there so that their character gets like lured in, but then it has a bigger story and it's not just a shitty moment. It's actually a part of something. But then they're just like, nope. And you're like, well, wait, but your character would. Like, it would make sense to
Yeah.
penalize that. And I think that goes into, with King's Crossing, the corruption, the order, and chaos points, where people are just like arguing with me, like, I shouldn't get chaos points for this. And I was like, first off, I'm the DM. Second, shut the fuck up. 3, you gotta get points. Like, I want to give points going either side because depending on how your character is played, you're gonna lean one or the other. Like, if you want to play a full order character, play a full order character. Your character tried to eat a child. That's not a full order character. You're gonna get points in the chaos. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. It's just how your character was played.
Yeah. Torvekik just keeps trying to eat people, and
Yeah.
Grunkle's like, no,
It's probably Wilford. I could see Wilford probably just devouring people.
God, that's a perfect because nobody trusts witches or people who can cast magic.
That would
so
be
Grunkle
crazy.
Can be like,
if Wilford was playing like a shapeshifter or like a skinwalker or something, where it's all of a sudden you're just like, what the fuck?
that would be crazy. It would be like, you should have helped out more.
Why didn't you do that before?
But I was thinking more along the lines of like Grunkle is like, he ate a massive meal, and it's like, well, who here ate 10 people? And Grunkle's like, oh, definitely the witch. And they look at the little witch, half elf, like he hasn't eaten in the last 8 hours.
Skin and bones. He really is a scrawny little thing too.
It's like, yeah, he probably eat 10 people. They're like, witch! Yeah, he killed the people!
Yeah, the witch! Like, oh.
That would be terrible. Shifty, if you're watching this, I would not do that to you. Anybody, if you're watching this, I wouldn't do that to you. It's funny to joke about, but that's to the drinks and discussions. The Joker.
That takes me back to illegal lizard!
Well, that was just funny.
Gibbs. We will miss you.
Yeah.
Not an RIP, it's just a bye-bye Dibs. RIP Mateo.
Well,
shout out to my outro I did for that. Did you see the end part where it did a special in remembrance of Mateo?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I watched the whole thing. That was good. Good. You should watch the finale if you haven't watched it.
I had so much fun making that. Yeah.
Did you watch the finale?
Me?
Yeah. Did you watch it?
King's Crossing? Yeah, twice.
I don't know. I phrased it like because obviously to the audience, but then I realized it was technically at you too.
Yeah, no, I did. I did.
I wanted to triple down.
Yeah, King's Crossing was a good one, and all all the chapters of King's Crossing are up on YouTube. I know, we're better than Strange Town Golden Ridge, even though I'm the one who fucked it up. I'm the editor who didn't save the first chapter,
and I'm the producer that didn't save my.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't know that because I've been on Twitch for a while, and I didn't think it only saved. That was a new thing where they only save it for 2 weeks and then it's gone. I didn't know that, and so I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go pull all the episodes of Strange Town Golden Ridge," and they weren't there, and I was like, "What?"
Databases.
Yeah, probably just can't hold that much. I was like, "Damn it." So, chapter 1. Still a great game though. You can still watch chapter 2 and chapter 3. I'm pretty sure at the start of chapter 2 we even did a breakdown of what was in chapter 1 because we knew it wasn't there anymore.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it so much. You should get the essence. It's like having a sparkling water and it's like mango flavored and you're like, yeah, this seems like it was in a room with a mango at one point. We got the gist of mango.
I'd say you have to watch every episode of Strange Town Golden Ridge and like in each episode there's a little snippet that tells you about the first chapter, and after you watch every episode of Strange Town Golden Ridge, you can piece together and get the idea. It's like those old the old decoder rings, and you would get your decoder ring, and then each episode would give you a new clue, and you had to listen to every episode to. This is probably so old, no one even fucking knows what a decoder ring
No, I
is.
know. I'm
You
with you.
know, but I'm thinking about. I was like, no one younger than us probably knows what
A
the fuck
Christmas
I'm
Story.
talking about.
A Christmas
Yeah,
Story has it.
yeah, and A Christmas Story. So he goes through, and every episode you have to do a new code, and then you finally uncover the code, and it's just like things happen.
Each your Ovaltine.
Each your Ovaltine, yeah.
Mimes are cool, but the
Yeah.
cool is spelled Kewl. It's
Yep.
like, what the hell?
You're like, that didn't
Is
tell
that
me
really
anything.
Yeah.
Strange Town Golden Ridge.
Yeah.
Any other last thoughts? We ended up using the whole hour. Look at us.
Yeah. Look at us.
We're
No.
professionals.
I guess that's what I got.
All right.
It was fun finally doing an under the table for this.
Yeah, we missed the first time, so I think we did a good wrap up of the 2 episodes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hopefully next time we have Fred join us, but that's gonna do it for Under the Table. Talking about the Strange Town Golden Ridge. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any thoughts or comments, go ahead and leave them down below, and we'll get to talk about them in the next Strange Town Golden Ridge. But that's all we got for this one. Thank you once again. Make sure you guys go watch Strange Town Golden Ridge. We do stream that live on kick.com/Rathnar every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Whatever that is, wherever you're at. But that's all I've got. You're good?
I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys for joining. Leave a like if you liked the video, and we will. Is YouTube chat getting the love? I don't know. Am I seeing YouTube chat? I don't think so. I don't know how to see YouTube chat. I'm streaming to YouTube as well, I think, for the first time ever.
Oh.
I don't know how to see YouTube chat though, now that I notice. I'm seeing only
no.
only Twitch chat? I don't know. How about now?
Good love.
Oh, here it says it's on Twitch. Wait, am I seeing? Type some on the YouTube. Am I even streaming on YouTube? I don't know. I am. I see that I'm live. Holy shit. Never been live on YouTube before. I've never been on live television before.
Well, I've never been on there before either. Did I look good?
Am I seeing?
Oh no, I was wearing my Joe Parra shirt.
Oh my god, there's so much YouTube chat that we didn't even see. There's so many. Even Chison was here.
What the hell?
I'm so sorry, YouTube chat. I never saw you.
Did they say anything cool, like about how I don't look like a bald
I see
man?
very Terry Crews of you. I don't know what that was in regards to.
That was to you. That was to you. Is your buff?
Green screen, $12. Oh, they're talking
yes,
about
me.
with the wall of mirror pictures behind you.
Yep. It's not even $12. It's $0. Just right here. Oh.
Pickles campaigned Gravity Falls. Nice. What does that mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get it.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Gravity Falls is a Disney Channel show. It has one of the voices from Bob's Burgers, but basically the concept is a couple kids go out to their grand uncle's like weird place in the Pacific Northwest, and they encounter things like gnomes and spirits and all sorts of weird, wacky things. Also, the grand uncle isn't called grand uncle; he's called Grunkle.
And
So they could be talking about that as well.
From.
Yeah, my Grunkle was not from that. I thought of it first, and then I saw the show, and I was like, "Well, fuck that."
Fuck that. Is Outlast multiplayer now? No, Outlast is not. But there's another game called Outlast Trials, which, to what I understand, it's kind of a mix of like a Dead by Daylight / Outlast. But the monster in Dead by Daylight, or the monsters in Outlast Trials, are just NPCs this game. So you're working with your team to try and escape the Outlast room.
We like scary times
that I've got of it, yeah. Does Pickles ever change his green screen? Not really. I
Nope.
think it's been blurry and it's been a forest.
I do blurry for Mithras, I guess, and I do forest because I feel most comfortable here. It's like I'm just in the woods and the wind feels nice and
Yeah, that's not actually a green screen. He actually goes out and streams from the woods in his backyard.
in interdimensional woods. But
Sure. Yeah,
it
because
makes
it's
me
all.
think of like, especially during the summer, it makes me think of when we worked at a, a, a camp
Yep,
area as counselors.
a woodland
Um,
summer camp.
I don't know, something about that makes me feel good. So
The
I like having
the
that.
treehouse that we saw in episode 2, chapter 3 of Strange Town Golden Ridge, that scene made me think of that summer camp we worked at.
Yeah, with a mountain man.
Yep.
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 My grandnephew calls me Grunkle because he watched Gravity
Dear Lord.
Falls.
That's cute as fuck, obviously. But
Fuck is pretty cute.
it's one of those things where obviously you've had a weirder interaction with finding out your character name was already taken. I just made a grunkle to be like, ha ha ha, it's funny. It's a stupid name that nobody would have. And then I saw that and I was like,
Yeah, if you guys don't know, my character was previously known as Travis King. Totally just a made up name. I had it for, I mean, we've been playing this game, what, 6, 9 months? 6 months? How long has it been?
yeah, we've been playing for a while now.
Yeah, so it's been, a while ago I came up with this name. And then all of a sudden, it came out on the news. Someone named Travis King did something very, very fucking stupid and made international news all over the world. And I was like, well, I probably shouldn't be playing a character named Travis King. The name was all of a sudden blacklisted, basically, by myself. I just didn't want to be connected to that. So that's why his name is now changed to Kingsman.
Funny side.
Yeah, good stuff. If you guys don't know what I'm talking
Tough
about,
for
just
him,
go
though.
Google Travis King and you'll learn why I'm not playing Travis King anymore. But
Yeah.
I didn't want to change my character because I like my character and I feel like it's connected to the story. So I was like, well, we'll just go through a name change. He did a whole career change, so it kind of worked. But anyhow, let's wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for joining. Actually, I kind of already did the outro. I probably already cut off the video.
Let's give some love to the YouTube audience. They were there, we didn't see them, but let's
Yeah,
give them some love.
we went through
Another
all
outro.
the YouTube. Sure. Once again, YouTube, this one's for you. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is my first YouTube live stream. I've never streamed live on YouTube before, so that's pretty cool. I'm sorry I didn't see you guys' chat. I didn't know, but
I didn't either.
I see it now. Over on my actual streaming thing, usually just there's one that says Twitch, and then there's another one that says multi-stream. So if I click on that, it shows me everyone. It shows me if Twitch is talking, if YouTube's talking. So that's pretty cool. I'll have to remember that in the future, but that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. Huge shout out to Pickles for joining me here. I appreciate it. And tomorrow is Tuesday. We don't have any live streams scheduled for tomorrow. But Wednesday you should see more of us. And hopefully a D6 will be back as well. So the Battle Buddies will be jumping back into some of their gameplays like Labyrinthine. I think we'll be hopefully wrapping up.
Maybe. I don't know how long the game is.
Yeah, I don't know how long the game is. We're going to be continuing the story on that one, I think, come Wednesday, so you can catch us over there. But that's all I got. We'll see y'all next time. Later.
Next time.